Title: Minimalist Studio Photography Style. Module: Advanced Studio Lighting Control. Minimalist studio photography is the art of removing everything that is unnecessary until only the essential elements remain. It is not about emptiness, but about clarity. Every element in the frame must have purpose, and anything that does not contribute to the message is removed. In fine art photography, minimalism is especially powerful because it shifts attention away from distraction and toward form, emotion, and presence. The foundation of minimalist studio work is simplicity of light. Instead of using multiple complex setups, minimalism often relies on one carefully controlled light source. The goal is not to create complexity, but to refine intention. Light in minimalist photography is used with precision. A single highlight may define the entire subject. A single shadow may create depth, mood, and structure. Because there are fewer visual elements, every detail becomes more important. Background choice is a critical part of minimalism. Clean, uncluttered backgrounds such as pure black, white, or neutral gray are commonly used. These backgrounds remove environmental distractions and allow the subject to exist in its purest visual form. In fine art figure photography, this approach allows the human form to become the central focus without interruption. The viewer is no longer processing surroundings or props. Instead, attention is directed entirely toward posture, gesture, and emotional expression. Composition in minimalist photography is deliberate and restrained. Negative space is not accidental, it is a core design element. Empty areas in the frame give breathing room and create balance. This space allows the subject to feel more powerful and more isolated, depending on intent. Every object in the frame must justify its presence. Even small details such as hair direction, hand placement, or body angle become important compositional decisions. Nothing is casual. Lighting in minimalist setups often emphasizes shape over detail. Soft gradients or controlled shadows help define form without overwhelming the image. Harsh or overly complex lighting is usually avoided unless it serves a very specific artistic purpose. One of the most important principles of minimalism is emotional reduction. Instead of trying to communicate multiple ideas at once, the photographer focuses on a single emotional message. This could be calmness, solitude, strength, vulnerability, or stillness. By narrowing the emotional focus, the image becomes more powerful and direct. Minimalist photography also encourages patience. Because there are fewer elements in the frame, small adjustments become highly significant. A slight change in body position or light angle can completely alter the balance of the composition. In fine art figure photography, minimalism highlights the natural beauty of form. Without distraction, the viewer begins to notice subtle details such as curvature, alignment, tension, and relaxation within the body. The subject becomes almost sculptural, existing within space like a living form of design. Another key aspect of minimalist studio work is restraint in post-processing. Over-editing can destroy the purity of the image. Instead, subtle adjustments are preferred to maintain authenticity and visual calmness. Minimalism is not about doing less for the sake of simplicity. It is about doing less so that what remains becomes more meaningful. It requires discipline to remove elements that are visually interesting but not necessary. It also requires confidence to allow empty space to exist without filling it. Ultimately, minimalist studio photography teaches one of the most important lessons in fine art. Clarity comes from reduction. When everything unnecessary is removed, what remains becomes stronger. Light becomes more intentional. Form becomes more visible. Emotion becomes more direct. And the image becomes not just a photograph, but a quiet statement of presence and purpose.